right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Cited by the city for helping those in need.
The mission of the OWL is threefold: get inside, get connected, and get well. So our first year, we just hope to get people inside, get them warm, keep them from freezing to death.
How an Edwardsville church became a warming shelter and how the city reacted. Remembering Dr. King.
We hope that this will be the beginning, again, of reclaiming the vision of creating a beloved community.
Why people gathered at Fountain Park ahead of the MLK holiday. First, we begin with a weather alert tonight. Let's go ahead and get a live look from downtown where temperatures are dipping into dangerous lows. Those temps hovering single digits over the coming days. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Wind chill warnings are now issued for most of our coverage area, and they remain in effect until noon tomorrow. Let's get right over to meteorologist Gary Frank with your weather first forecast.
Yeah,
Gary.
good evening, Brent. It's obviously very cold outside. It's a matter of, well, how cold is it when we're talking about what the wind makes it feel like? And here's what's going on right now as we continue to talk about what's going on. We had a few areas of, a few light snow showers earlier. That has since cleared out, and as that clears out, that's ushering in that colder air mass that we'll start to see more of as you look outside. Here's where most of the wind chill warning is, and it's most of our area with the exception of Farmington and Sparta, but this is until noon tomorrow. Dangerous extreme temperatures, which have already fallen. These are our air temperatures right now. They're in the single digits, mostly even O'Fallon on the Missouri side, 4, 5 in Lake St. Louis, but you show the big picture of what it's like if you've been paying attention to the other side of the state. 9 below right now in Kansas City. These are air temperatures. You add the wind and it makes it feel even colder. It's almost 30 below the wind chill in Kansas City. Here it feels a little bit colder. It's 14 below. The wind has picked up. We've got a west breeze at 26 miles an hour. Overnight, without the wind chill, it's going to drop to around somewhere between 5 and 10 below, depending on where you are. And we'll add the wind chill to that. That's how dangerous cold it is. We'll talk about what you can expect from that, how quickly you'll get frostbite, and when we'll see these dangerous temperatures finally exit the region.
All right, Gary, and the extreme cold is forcing the St. Louis Zoo to close tomorrow. Only staff directly related to critical operations will be expected to report to work.
Tonight it's really dangerous to even sleep in the car.
Well, as bitter cold temps hit the bi-state, a local church is now being penalized for sheltering the homeless. The city is fining First Baptist Church in Edwardsville $750 a day after it opened its doors to those in need. Following your size, Annie Kroll joins us in studio after speaking with organizers. What is this about, Annie?
Well, exactly, Brent. Back in October, the city notified shelter organizers about the need for a special use permit to ensure life safety measures were in place. It comes after a man lost both his feet to the cold 2 years ago.
We've been working on this for about a year now, since we had a gentleman in Edwardsville who was associated with First Baptist Church who got frostbite of both feet Christmas of 2022, and he has had bilateral amputations. So that has galvanized and animated the Ministerial Alliance to say this should not be happening in our town.
This overnight warming location, or OWL, in Edwardsville was activated for the 4th night on Saturday. However, the city of Edwardsville issued a citation on December 19th due to the absence of a special use permit application. The city claims it's a zoning violation, which means a $750 fine per day for the shelter. The church is refuting that claim, citing a special permit issued in 1969 that allows ministry to the community, meaning it provides shelter to those in need, falls under that mission. OWL organizers and city officials have been in repeated conversations since October of last year. But the city says they have still yet to receive a special use permit application. Some neighbors also opposing the shelter.
I was surprised that there was negative reaction. I thought, I had assumed, apparently wrongly, that people in this neighborhood would have been happy to help the other people in Edwardsville, because these are people that live here. They're not coming from anywhere else. There are people in the community.
The Edwardsville Township Board of Trustees pledged support, approving $1,000 in funds that will be used to purchase an AED and personal protection equipment. The city of Edwardsville says they have not collected any fines and remain committed to working with the OWL organizers.
This warming shelter in Edwardsville said they're expecting to be open over the next few days because of those continued frigid temperatures. The overnight warming locations organizers say their citation court hearing is scheduled for Thursday, January 18th. Brent?
All right, Annie, keep us posted. Well, it's a frosty night at Arrowhead Stadium where the Chiefs and Dolphins are playing in one of the coldest NFL games ever. The temperature at kickoff was -4 degrees with a wind chill of -20. And that makes it the 4th coldest game in NFL history. Despite the cold, the stadium is packed with Chiefs fans. We caught up with one man who traveled from St. Louis.
I think I'm wearing about 4 pairs of pants and about 7 layers of upper body and a full-on face mask and gloves. A lot of people tell me I'm crazy, and a lot of people are like, wait, but you're not really a Chiefs fan. I'm like, no, but I just think it'd be awesome to see playoff football and kind of stick it to our friends that are Chiefs fans that didn't want to go. Even though it is going to be pretty cold, I'm just going to try my best to shake it off.
Fans were allowed, by the way, to bring in blankets and heated clothing to try to stay warm. Dangerous winter weather also affecting another playoff game. In New York, tomorrow's Steelers-Bills game is postponed due to a snowstorm. Here's video from Highmark Stadium showing those blizzard-like conditions tonight. A couple of feet of snow is expected overnight in western New York, prompting a state of emergency. The game is rescheduled to Monday afternoon. You can stay up to date on our forecast anytime. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355. MLK Day is Monday, but groups across St. Louis are already celebrating Dr. King's legacy. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay takes us to today's ceremony at Fountain Park.
Dr. King has done his work, but we are called to do our work.
Despite the frigid cold temperatures and spitting snow, faith leaders and community members gathered around the base of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. statue in Fountain Park Saturday morning.
And we just hope that through our gathering, people will look beyond those things that divide us and think about the bridges that we need to build.
And no one demonstrated unity better than the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's why Centennial Christian Church's 7th annual MLK ceremony was centered around something he spent his whole life focused on: creating a beloved community.
The year Dr. King was assassinated was a year that has historically been marked as a year of great division and polarization and conflict in our country. 50 years down the road, it's only gotten worse.
Hoping to spark change, the remembrance was filled with speeches, workshops, and a talent showcase. All of it happening strategically around the statue that many people don't even know exists.
A lot of people who even lived in the area had never paid any attention to the statue.
Among the many partners who help annually with the event was Alpha Phi Alpha, a fraternity that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a proud member of.
When people around the country talk about Dr. King, they also mention his membership in the Alpha Phi Alpha. It is a natural fit for us.
While we continue to honor the great Dr. King every single year, organizers want to remind the community that if we are going to have a day of remembrance, we also have to remember all the work that still needs to be done in our own city.
We're remembering his work, and we want to continue that legacy of togetherness and dignity for all people.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
100 days at war, how people are remembering the thousands killed in the Israel-Hamas conflict. Shaping Success, the local nonprofit helping young people build a bright future.
They've been excited. I've been getting calls since 6:30 this morning, making sure that we were still going to do the class today. They were not letting the weather stop them.
Well, today marks the 100th day of the Israel-Hamas war. Hours ago, protesters took to the streets of Washington, D.C., demanding the U.S. stop sending aid to Israel. The war began on October 7th, when Hamas launched a surprise attack that killed about 1,200 people in Israel. 240 were taken hostage. The Gaza Health Ministry says since then, more than 23,000 Palestinians have been killed. Protesters say they want Israel held accountable. A vigil today at St. Francis Xavier College Church for Palestinians killed over the past 100 days. Volunteers shared poetry, essays, and stories from some of the victims. One speaker shared she has family in Gaza who have moved several times since the war started. They're now living in tents in a refugee camp where supplies are scarce.
It's not just the bombing. There are dozens of different ways my family and the people in these tents are struggling. I'm sharing this story for you to keep speaking out for Gaza and for calling an immediate ceasefire.
Organizers made a banner listing the names and ages of many of the victims. Those names were read aloud during that vigil.
Well, as we continue to focus on one band of snow that moved through, it's getting a lot colder as it clears out, but we're going to track our next band of snow and who's most likely impacted over the next few days.
Well, the cold weather isn't stopping an area nonprofit from helping young people become entrepreneurs. A group called Romans 12 Outreach Ministry held its first class at its new location in Hazelwood today. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings takes us there.
That's why you have to always keep your business cards on you. Yeah, they've been excited. I've been getting calls since 6:30 this morning, making sure that we were still going to do the class today. They were not letting the weather stop them.
The young people in these seats are eager to learn the world of business.
It shows that they are motivated and they are ready and they're willing to come get whatever tools they can get to get started.
Now, how much did you make from work?
This is Candace Dorsey and her husband's nonprofit Romans 12 Outreach Ministry's first business startup class at their new location in North County. The community service-driven nonprofit that started in 2023 is feeding these entrepreneurial spirits what they need to be successful for free.
We're teaching them how to register with the Secretary of State, with the IRS, how to create a business plan.
The Business Startup Masterclass grew out of Candace's vision for her own business, 220 Eye Candy Beauty Bar.
So I decided to start taking 10% of all the profit that I make from Eye Candy Beauty Bar to donate to our ministry so that we could provide these classes.
18-year-old fitness enthusiast Markel Stewart is seeing more clearly a business idea he had a few years back.
Jumping right into it, no questions, no research, no business plan.
He's walking away more confident in that vision.
I need guidance in order to actually start a personal training business. And I think this class right here has been proving nothing but that all day.
They are our future leaders.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Yes, they are. Romans 12 Outreach Ministry holds their free master business class once a month. It's just for ages 16 to 21. You can learn much more about how to get involved at KSDK.com. Let's go ahead and get to our weather first forecast now. Meteorologist Gary Frank is keeping us posted on this frigid, bitter, cold weather, Gary.
Very, very frigid and dangerous, right? We know that it's cold outside, but it's a matter of the wind chill and the significant Arctic air in the matter of time of being outside. And that's where we got to check our friends, neighbors, check the pipes, things like that, keep the water running. This is where we're going to start to run into that as we have significant cold air that settles in. Right now, as you look downtown, you can see some sort of clearing even off to the east. And that's key because even though it's cold, that's at least kept some sort of an insulation in. Now we have this actual Arctic air mass. And if you've been watching the game on the other side of the state at all, a west breeze at 26 miles an hour. This is a sustained wind. So we did get to 22 today, but our temps are falling now. It feels like 14 below. That's going to be a key component. The light snow that moved through earlier really reduced our visibility, and now that we have no issue of whether or not the roads are cold enough, this stuck, and then people drive over it, and really it's a fine, thin, compact layer that is a sheet of ice in some cases. Behind that, there's that clearing that I mentioned. You look at how many states, cities are involved in some sort of wind chill warning, winter weather advisory, a wind chill advisory, you name it, something's going on. And that's one of the reasons, because behind this colder air mass, which gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour right now, continue, we've got wind chills that are 15 to 20 below, even at this hour. They'll continue to get worse. From Lake St. Louis to O'Fallon to Mascoutah, it's 10 to 15 below. And our wind chills are only going to get worse into the overnight hours. And this is the key point of a wind chill warning. Watch these numbers into the overnight hours, between 25 and 30 below. That's where you're outside for less than 15 minutes. that's when frostbite occurs. And so that's where we've got to check on our pets, friends, and neighbors. And this is where we really have to worry about this. Through midday, you'll notice this number gets at about 15, 10 below. That's where we lose the wind chill warning criteria and go to wind chill advisory. This still is an issue into Sunday night as well, as it's still very cold within a 15 to 20 below range. You'll notice that wind continues. We'll struggle to get above 5, 6, 7 degrees tomorrow. I do think there's another light band of snow. Most of us south of 44 are going to be involved in that. I wouldn't be surprised for some snowfall accumulation. You'll notice where most of the belt of this is, really from Shiloh southward, Sparta, Perryville, Farmington. You'll get a quick inch or a dusting up to a ½ an inch. It won't take much here, but over the next few days, we continue to struggle to get above 20. So for all those on the extended holiday, it is going to be a very cold several days. I think we'll get to 5 tomorrow for a high. 13, 2 below, light snow. We'll continue to see those wind chills on the cold side Tuesday. Trying to rebound, but it's a cold one.
All right, wait a minute. High tomorrow. You
5.
think we'll get to 5?
I think we'll get to 5.
I just wanted to make sure they heard that correctly.
I don't think 7 at the highest.
No
right?
doubt about it.
A balmy 5.
Yeah, bundle up.
Yeah, baby.
All right, thank you much. Corey, take it away.
Well, we're going to keep with the cold theme here in sports. On the ice, the Blues and Bruins had a dramatic battle. We warmed up with Sonny Gray and the Cardinals and had a truly freezing scene in Kansas City. We'll be back with sports after the break. Matchups between the Blues and Bruins are always going to have a little extra juice after that 2019 Stanley Cup final. And tonight added another dramatic chapter to the Boston and St. Louis rivalry. This guy got a lot of boos tonight at Enterprise Center, Bruins captain Brad Marchand. Not a fan favorite. The Blues just kept battling back tonight, down 1-0, and the Boston boy, Kevin Hayes, ties things at 1. Down 2-1, Jake Neighbors lights the lamp, tied at 2. Down 3-2 late, Oscar Sundqvist gets a tip in on the power play. We're tied at 3. Jordan Binnington has been on fire lately. He makes a huge save at the end of regulation to send things to overtime. Now, the Blues wanted a tripping call you see right there in OT. They don't get it, and of course, the Bruins immediately scored to end the game. Charlie McAvoy gets the game winner. Bruins win 4-3.
We've been getting points against some really good hockey teams. You know, we've been playing solid, and we got something to build on, and let's keep that for the second half here and see how far we can go.
If you want to know just how much St. Louis loves baseball, come to winter warm-up. Temperatures are in the teens, and fans still flock downtown today to see their Cardinals. The newest Cardinal ace, Sonny Gray, was here today signing autographs and talking with the media. I asked him about building a relationship with his new battery mate, Wilson Contreras.
Conversations have been great. He seems to want to work, seems to want to get better, seems to want to learn. And every time we talk, he's looking forward to bringing a championship back to St. Louis. Gunner's got a baseball card that we were trading yesterday. Did I get that card from you? I didn't trade it. He's got a Wilson Contreras card, and I'm looking to trade him. So he's tough. He's tough, but he's asking for. I tried to give him a signed Sonny Gray card, but so yeah, I look forward to working with him.
NFL playoffs, this is how cold it was in KC for Chiefs Dolphins. Taylor Swift couldn't see through a sweet window, and Andy Reid's mustache froze. Wind chill close to -30. Chiefs did not mind the cold, though. Mahomes to Rashee Rice, 7-0. Miami responded to make it a game early. Tua airs it out. The former Chief, Tyreek Hill, is there. He makes some magic to get into the end zone, 10-7 Chiefs. KC would pull away in the second half, though. Isaiah Pacheco, he's in for 6 more. Chiefs go on to win, 26-7. Down to Houston, C.J. Stroud and the Texans facing Joe Flacco and the Browns, and the rookie Stroud just continues to dazzle. He threw for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns today. The Texans also had 2 pick-sixes off Flacco and went on to destroy Cleveland. Houston moves on with a 45-14 victory. Fredbird joined Truman for the mascot entrance at Mizzou Arena today. Tigers really needed this one against South Carolina. Mizzou led the whole second half, but South Carolina tied it with under a minute left. Tigers got the last shot. Sean East cannot convert, though. We go to overtime. Noah Carter, he ties it at 60. He had 23. Gamecocks go the other way. They take the lead on that jumper over Connor Vanover. Once again, Tigers get a final shot to tie it or win it. They can't do it. South Carolina wins 71-69. Pair of awesome high school hoops games tonight. Vianney and Collinsville up first. Nick Horace is going to hit from another area code. Clinton County almost, 3 for the K-Hawks. Simon Guy, good luck stopping this. That dunk's good for Vianney. Collinsville stayed hot from deep, though. Jamori Weisinger hits another long one for the K-Hawks. Let's go the other way. Eddie Smyche, nifty move, fade away for Vianney. But the K-Hawks were not intimidated. Collinsville wins 71-56 over Vianney at the Southern Illinois Classic. Huge girls matchup. 2 state champs from last year. Lutheran St. Charles against the 112-game win streak Incarnate Word. Zoe Best, she's a star for Incarnate. 2 buckets to start things, including a nice little hook shot for 2 points right there. Lutheran St. Charles was really hot to start. Allie Aringer, that's good for 3. We're going to go fast break. Kennedy Stowers is the one finishing off this time. However, Incarnate would break out in the second half. They win 74-52 to extend that win streak to 113 games. No better sight today to prove how cold it was than Andy Reid's frozen mustache on the sideline of the Chiefs game. That really says it all.
I love it. And what'd you say about Taylor Swift? She couldn't see out of her suite.
It was frozen at the beginning. Now, they got it thought out because Taylor's got to see the game. But it was frozen at first.
You mean they got to see her see the game? That's the key.
One or the other,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's cold. It's colder there, and that's what's coming here. So while temperatures are above 0 now, we'll watch the wind continue to bring. It feels like 15 to 20 below right now, but watch this number go even to 7 below. That's going to be 7 or 8 below tomorrow at 6 o'clock. It's going to feel like 30 below. And even as we struggle to get to 5 degrees, it's going to be feeling very cold tomorrow. Dangerous.
Crank up the heat.
Yep.
Don't even think about it.
Check on friends and neighbors.
Yeah. Thank you, my friends. Stay safe out there. We've got Saturday Night Live coming up next.